views and opinions expressed on the Powerhouse radio station are those of the host, guests, and callers, are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other hosts or advertisers. The show, found on the Powerhouse radio station, can promote any lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and or claim any cure of disease or conditions. Opinions stated by various contributors to the Powerhouse Radio and its programming are not to be considered as endorsed by the Powerhouse Radio station. Visitors are urged to use their own discernment to draw their own conclusion. We emphasize the importance of keeping an open mind.
Yeah. You listen to the sounds of DJ Fourth Quarter in your ear right now. If you're in your car, if you're at home, if you're on your phone, let's Gripe, baby.
Driving home and you're feeling kinda tired. Radio play the same thing every day, so you need a little switch in your life. Traffic got you jammed up every night. Tune in to Powerhouse. Wednesday 7 to 9, you need to check them out. I promise I ain't trying to hype, but one good listen tonight, it might change your life. So what's the name of the show? You need something to just ride to on the go. Or you might be home so log on. You can even dial in on your phone. I promise that you're gonna love it. Just try it one time, it'll blow your mind. Now I'ma say it just one more time. Every Wednesday from 7 to 9.
Let's Gripe. 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 Let's Gripe.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. It is Wednesday, May 29th. Hey, Mckenna, how are you tonight?
Hey, Tonia. Hey, let's Gripe. Happy Wednesday, everybody. It's been a minute, but we're happy to be here tonight. Tony, what's going on? What's been going on with you?
Look, so you see me turning so I'm in the location right now, so I don't have all the equipment, so I'm trying to get the camera right. So I think I got it right. Turn up the volume. So, of course, definitely, we just celebrated Memorial Weekend. So pretty much this is summer. Summer has begun. So MG will be in the comments. He won't be able to be live with us. So we're going to take a summer break. So tonight is the last show until September, the first week in September after Labor Day, or maybe sooner, who knows. But right now, we're going to take a break, and most likely because we try to do it every Wednesday, and a lot of times we have different things that come up. So we're just going to do like school, to take a break, just like your job, you get vacation. So, but definitely we're going to try to come back and just be full force until the winter break or holiday break. So that's the intention to do moving forward. So Mckenna, how was your weekend? What did you do?
Well, this weekend, I actually went to go visit my grandmother on my dad's side. She turned 98 earlier in May, and my aunt decided to have a little family kickback for her. So all the family came and we celebrated grandma for 98 years. And it was really just such a blessing to be able to travel, to go, to be with her, to be with family, and just, to celebrate 98 years. I mean, she's lived a long time. She has a lot of stories, and she's seen a lot of people leave. I mean, most of her friends, aren't here with her anymore. But we are just thankful that she's still in a good mind. She, still is as independent as possible. She was kind of excited to have, some of her grands and great grandkids around, because she got to be grandma and boss people around. Go sit down, come over here. So she had, someone to boss around a little bit. And so it was just, just a joyous occasion. And one of her oldest cousins that's still living, he is 91, Cousin Jimmy. And Cousin Jimmy was able to come and just share some stories of back when they were like 8 and 12 and 13. So just to be able to not even just live that long, but to have memories, from your childhood, and be able to tell those stories, it was just a good vibe. And so we just loved on each other. And, we look forward to getting back together, at Thanksgiving, God willing, that she's still here. So that's how we spent the weekend, just kind of honoring Grandma and her 98 years.
Well, that is such a blessing for her to be around so many years and still be able to enjoy her family, and her family is loving on her. So that's wonderful. Kudos to you guys. I do want to gotta give some shout outs to the new generation. This may be the last generation. Like, I think the baby boomers, like the children that are taking care of the parents, and not only parents that has dementia, but parents who are just elderly, have some ailments and so forth. But we have to give them kudos. When I say kudos, is double kudos. So my mom had a knee replacement last Monday. So I am basically caring for her because, of course, I'm more flexible than others. However, I had to ask her this question yesterday. I said, did we give that much trouble when we were children? This is what I'm asking an adult now, because I feel like I am doing this mommy role again. It's not mother and daughter. It's like I'm the mother and she's the child. And I was like, I got a question for you. Were we this much?
So quick story on that. Quick story. One of my friends, her mom was in the hospital recently, and during the month of May. And her mom was having problems swallowing. And so they put in a feeding tube. And so her mom was steady complaining, they're starving me. They're starving me over here. They're not letting me eat. And so the daughter was like, listen, until your throat is a little bit better and you can actually swallow food, it's dangerous for you to swallow food. It might close up your throat. So they are feeding you through this feeding tube. And so after a few days or so, they took out the feeding tube and they put her on, soft foods. And the mother was just having such a fit, like they're starving me. And so her daughter, much like you, was saying, Mom, are you throwing a tantrum? Are you over here throwing a tantrum at the hospital? Is this where we are? And so, it's interesting. I know we've used this phrase before, once a man or once a lady, twice a baby. And so I do think that as we get older, we kind of revert to a whiny baby stage, fussy, whiny baby stage, where, just as little kids, we kind of want things our way, and we want the world to kind of move around us. So it's kind of interesting that you're in that space. And as adult children, we can kind of lean in and ask those questions. Mom, are you being bratty? Are you whining? Are you fussing? Are you being impatient? Are you not following doctor's orders? And so we spent a little bit of time kind of laughing at her story, but acknowledging her frustration because, we have to handle our parents a little differently as we get older. And sometimes we have to be the parent to them, and kind of chastise them a little bit for their behavior. So I hear you, Tonia.
When I tell you, I am like, wow. But the difference is when we were children and we were growing up, we were afraid of our parents. You just didn't do certain things because you didn't want to get in trouble. But now they're like, no, I'm not going to do it. And I'm sitting here like, and then I take the high road, I'll just walk out the room. You won't see me for a few hours. I'll be in the same house. You just won't see me for a few hours. So it's interesting. So that's why we definitely have to give a shout out to all the caretakers, givers for their parents, and even if it comes to family members. But it is a job, and it does take a lot of patience. I have patience, but I don't have patience. I don't have patience for the foolishness, but I have patience for the sick and the needs. But it's just saying, okay, and definitely doing it with respect, of course, because at the end of the day, it's your mom, because you would definitely not want someone else to treat your parents or loved one any type of way. But it's just amazing to see that nowadays this is what it's coming to. And I'm just crossing my finger like, can I just be self-sufficient forever? Because who knows what minds would say about me, you know? It's one of those things. But so, and on that note, of course, I didn't do anything this weekend. That's what I did. Yeah, that was my Memorial weekend, but I wouldn't have any other way. So that's most importantly. We got some catch up to do. I mean, we've been gone for a couple of weeks. I think, did we? Yes, we did come back after the birthday. And of course, we did have Mckenna. She celebrated her birthday 2 Wednesday ago. Happy birthday again, Mckenna. What did you do? Do you want to share it with our listeners?
So I had a nice little dinner for my actual birthday. I was able to hang out. And then my birthday was on a Wednesday, so I hung out Wednesday night. And then one of my cousins came in town, and she was like, well, we might as well hang out Thursday. So a few of us went and hung out Thursday. And then Friday I left and went to Barbados and had a nice little vacation. And so it was just a nice time to celebrate and just kind of relax and be thankful. You know, every time there's a birthday, there's an opportunity to have some gratitude. And we do have to just remember to, you know, be thankful for where we are. And if there are things that we want to do, then plan for them and trust God that He's going to answer our prayers. And so, you know, we were able to you know, just receive some blessings and show some gratitude. And so here we are, refreshed, relaxed, and, you know, ready to enjoy the rest of the summer.
Awesome. I'm so glad that you enjoy your birthday. Like I said, one of these big years, we have to do it big together. Definitely, I would love to. Because you're just a sweet person. Who don't know Mckenna personally, you don't know what you're missing. She's such a great person, a great friend, associate, and I love that for you. Unfortunately, of course, when you did text me the information, I was celebrating my goddaughter's birthday because hers is one day before yours. So it was like, I was like, I'm not even in town. But we definitely gonna have to get together and definitely do that. Where did we leave off? Okay.
I mean, you know, there's been so many things that have been happening, and I've been trying to just kind of stay out of the news because the news is just full of drama and chaos. The music industry is still full of drama and chaos. The political news industry is still full of drama and chaos. We had an election the other week. I hope people went out and voted. I know we talked about it before the election, but I just think that we need a reset button. We need like a moral reset button that people just need to push the reset button and figure out a way to go back to just doing the right thing and treating people with dignity and respect. And not hating on people and supporting each other. I mean, these are the gripes that we have today because most of what we hear or read or see is somebody who's tore somebody down in some kind of way, somebody who scammed somebody in some kind of way, somebody that got arrested, you know, for breaking the law in some kind of way, somebody who got away with a crime, somebody like the corporations who are making record profits, but people are still struggling to buy groceries and feed their families and put gas in their car. But these corporations are reporting record profits. And so it's just, that's the gripe. It's just annoying to be involved in what's happening. You know, and then, you know, even in our Congress and our House of Representatives, we have politicians who are trying to belittle somebody. And then when they get clapped back on, then they want to have a little fake emotional moment. What is that all about? the saying is, if you can't take it, then don't dish it out.
Don't dish it out. And it was funny, Mckenna, because I remember we're talking about Jasmine Crockett, senator from Texas. However, oh my gosh, when I first encountered her, when she was actually doing President Biden's son, Hunter, when he was they had a hearing. And I realized how articulate she was and how intelligent. You could just tell that she was bright. But of course, we can tell that she was a next door neighbor, if you know what I mean. You know how they say I can operate in a boardroom, and I can get down in the street or the barbecue if I need to. So I was impressed with her, because at the end of the day, you can tell who she is, and from the right side to the left side. However, that incident that you're talking about, it was funny, but then I was like, she was kind of quick at it. So it was less than 24 hours. I realized, guess what? She my sign twin. She's an Aries. That explains it. But when you take a look at the clip and what transpired for her to respond, it definitely wasn't called for. And you can see that side, really, I don't, the MAGA, as they call them, the MAGA side, it wasn't called for. And I understand when she said that reference she made regarding her eyelashes was a racial slur. It was basically racist. And it's so sad that we have this in Congress. We've never seen this before, even as teenagers and young adults. We never saw this. And now I see why the old folks don't want to give their seats up. That's why Mitch McConnell, as much as he be spazzing out, he's like, nope, I ain't leaving. Because there's not going to be an order. And I believe that 100%.
Yeah, and this is what people voted for. Like, she got reelected for her seat just 2 weeks ago. And it's just, it really is a snapshot of where we are as a country. And, people were teasing in a way. The other day I read an article about, do you think we're going to end up in another civil war? And on one hand, people were like, no, we're not actually going to go to war. The war is really going to be more political. It's going to be an economic war. It's going to be a financial war. People are creating a wider gap between the haves and the have-nots, and creating that wider gap between who we're going to allow to be employed and who we're going to promote, who we're going to lend money to and who we're not going to lend money to, who we're going to give contracts to and who we're not going to give contracts to. So the war isn't necessarily going to be, us putting on our uniform and going to battle. The war is going to be this economic, social, and political war that we see, and it's going to be more of it. And hopefully some of these people will age out naturally, and that the younger generation will replace that old thinking and really be invested in not just making America great again, but having an America that is that represents justice and liberty for all. Having an America where people can chase their dream and understand that after hard work and some perseverance and some opportunities and that network, that there's a level playing field, that people aren't going to be discriminated based on not just the color of their skin, the content of their character, or their sexual orientation. So I will say this on another note. You talked about Jasmine and how intelligent she was. I don't know if you saw that a day later, or maybe 2 days later, she put a patent on that phrase so that she could market some T-shirts and some other products. So I saw that she went ahead and registered that phrase as a patent so that, she could make a couple of dollars, because in this capitalistic society, we know that streams of revenue, having more than one, is a practical way to ensure that if you lose one check, there's another check or some savings somewhere else. And we know that at any given day, our employer can lay off people or have a downsize or outsource our jobs somewhere else, or, take us, to human resources on some allegations that something happened and, our jobs can be in jeopardy. So I thought that was a savvy move on her part.
Of course. I mean, but that's the Aries thing. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm going to pat myself on the shoulder. So we do have some shout outs to give. So we have Nakaya. She says, good evening. Nice to see y'all. Good evening. I mean, when she don't see us, she would send me a personal text like, where y'all at? Nakaya, you know how it's going. Of course, Nakaya, she's expecting. So again, you got to give us an update. When is your due date? So we can do maybe even an online baby shower for you. And we got Miss Butterfly in the comments. She says, hello all. We have MG. He's like, yo, he's in the chat with us. And then we got Elaine. She says, hello, good evening. We have Cheyenne. She says, good evening. We have K Chat, of course, a friend to the show. Kim. She says, greeting and happy belated born day, Mckenna. And we got Carolyn. She says, happy belated birthday, Mckenna. So, of course, we have our family in the house. Hey, guys, you got to go ahead and share, like, and subscribe to the Let's Gripe at thepowerhouseradio.com. So go ahead and share. So, guys, in the comments, the video. Well, first, okay, so before the video, let's talk about this. So with Jasmine, I mean, they said it's the, B6? Is that what they call it? Or the 6 Bs or something like this? But the way she just slurred it off her tongue. Let me see if I can do it. Hold on, I got to remember it's so bad. You remember it's wait. So bad. So, Miss Butterfly, Carolyn, someone in the chat, again, tell me what was the six B's. And she said if someone was here and they were to call someone, because she says bad built, butch body.
Bleach blonde.
Bleach blonde, bad built, butch body. And every time I look at her, that is all I see. I'm just saying.
And the internet was interneting. I mean, the memes were hilarious. They were hilarious because the internet does what the internet does. There's a song already. I heard like 3 songs. Somebody had a line dance. Somebody had a T-shirt. Somebody had a post of, what was the movie with the Wayans brother? White Chicks?
Yeah, she did look like one of them fake ones too. So MG said bleach blonde, bad built. But they said it was supposed to be 7 B's. But she couldn't say it in Congress, so it should have said bleach blonde, bad built, built, butch body, big. But she just left it all. I mean, and there was a young lady who saw her at the airport waiting for her flight. And that is what she addressed. Hey, beach blonde blind. She said, you didn't like that, did you? She just kept laughing. She just kept walking. I said, we don't have sense at all. We really don't. Good evening, Mike. Thanks for joining us. I mean, I'm just saying, like you said, if you can't handle it, don't give it. And that's what she did. She disrespected the queen. So the queen had to come back. Okay?
Yeah. So hopefully this exchange won't happen again because Miss Jasmine stays ready. She doesn't have to get ready. So
And if you don't remember her name, just remember that she's an Aries.
Tread light.
Because we're really quick with it. People say all the time, Tonia, that's one of our traits. That's one of
Tread
our
light.
traits. Don't
Tread
mess
light.
with us. Red light, because we got them horns right there. You know what I'm saying? You know, so speaking of those horns, of course, the video that I was mentioning, the video that was released of P. Diddy assaulting Cassie. Yeah. I've had personal conversation about the whole accusation, and I wasn't defending his action. I was more saying that Ms. Butterfly said we are a comeback king and queens, and she's meaning when she said we, she's saying us brown, black and brown peoples we are. But I was just saying that as far as adults, they did what they wanted to do behind closed doors at those parties and everything. So never once was I personally defending any kind of assault, any kind of domestic violence, or even any sexual abuse or anything to even minors. I was just more speaking on what they did in their environment as adults. However, that video that was released, it was definitely was their relationship. That was beyond, for me, it was beyond domestic violence. That was to me, that was more of an assault. Like, how do you do that to someone that you supposedly love or you're, intimate with? And it was saddened, and I felt it for her because the way she laid down when he grabbed her by her neck, threw her on the floor. She crawled into the fetal position because she knew what was coming. Like, she knew that he was going to beat her. And that's what hurt me. Just knowing that she was gearing up to take whatever he was going to give her at that time. And no one should have to endure that in a relationship of any kind.
It was tough. It was a tough video to watch. And my thoughts were, if this was on video, what else happened that we haven't seen? Because we don't always get caught when we do wrong right away. Life has a way of slow walking us down and catching up with us. But a lot of times we do things, kind of like speeding. We speed. How many times have we sped and how many times have we gotten a ticket? Most of us may have a ticket once every 5, 6, 10 years, but every time we get in the car, we're going beyond the speed limit. So that's kind of what it made me think about. Like, this was one incident that actually got captured on video. And of course, we heard stories that, the hotel, like he bought the video from the hotel, and that's why, it wasn't released sooner and things of this nature. But if this one incident was captured, I'm thinking how many other incidents happened that weren't captured from other people. And so, we know with money, things disappear. We know that we can buy security footage. We know we can pay off the doorman. We know if we can pay off, the concierge. We've seen these types of behaviors on TV. And Mike said he attacked that female like he was fighting a dude. That's crazy. And that shows to his state of mind. His state of mind was he wasn't thinking of her as a person, as a female or a dude. He was expressing his anger and trying to exert his control over her. And so it just makes me think how many other people throughout his career has he controlled through violence, through sex, through drugs, or through blackmail. And we know that we've heard an overwhelming amount of people come out. And there might be more people that come out because, his history spans over 20 years and he's come in contact with dozens of artists and had multiple parties and has had several relationships. But I will say that, our parents and grandparents used to tell us things like, what's done in the dark eventually comes to the light. And it's not our place necessarily to, I won't say judge him, but sentence him, because we're judging him out loud. But whatever his punishment is going to be, whether it's something that we see out loud or whether it's something that happens internally, my belief is that he will have to answer, for his actions. And that weak apology that he posted a week ago, it lacked empathy. To me, it was dry and unemotional. It was like scripted, like somebody wrote it and he read it. He didn't mention her name. He talked about he went to counseling. Well, when did you go? Last week? Because in the documents, you wrote that all of this is false. All of this, none of this is true. That's what you wrote. And you stated out loud in public until this video surfaced. And then all of a sudden, I apologize. I need to be a better man. I've gone to therapy. And in no way, does this apology excuse my actions? Well, no, it doesn't, So, and I hope that other men who have exercised bad judgment and taken their anger out on women, that it's a wake-up call for other men to change their behavior immediately. Maybe there'll be some good that can come out of this. Like this industry is just full of power and control and manipulation and deceit and evil. And maybe this is an awakening for people who have gotten caught up in these situations that they didn't necessarily intend to be in, but went to the party and stayed too long, so to speak. You know how they say you need to know when to come home. You need to have what I used to hear was you need to have coming home sense. Like you need to know when it's time to leave the party. You might not want to stay for the after party. That's why they gave us a curfew of 12 o'clock, because they knew that the longer you stayed, the more trouble you're likely to get in. So go have a good time and go home. And I think the older we get, that's kind of where we are now. We'll go have a little day party, maybe have a little night party every blue moon, but it's like after that, it's time to go home. So.
Yeah, and with everything that has come out, apparently one part of the settlement that he had with Cassie was that he cannot say her name. Like, he can never talk about the whole case, both of them, but he cannot even mention her name out of his mouth publicly. Of course, remember we did talk about it on the show that she filed this lawsuit on Friday. By Saturday, it was settled, and we did agree that there were things that he did not want to get out. I did not know, because I didn't read, the docket, but as far as she even had in there about him assaulting her, as well as, the other accusations. So the thing is that it's like, okay, now I get it. Because we know if that had went to court, that a lot of things would have come out of that. But when you actually see the video, it was horrible. And that's when I said, you never know what goes on behind closed door. And even after all of that he did, he turned around and she had to go in public with him to an event. So I know I saw Nakaya said that they are reopening Kim Porter's case. At first, when I was hearing that they were saying he had something to do with her death, in my head, I'm like, how? He's in one state, she's in another. How is it possible? But now I get it. He can jump in his jet and go where he want to go, versus we going online and buying a ticket to go where we're going. So what that means, who knows? Who knows? Cat Williams, What did he say back in January? This is the year of the truth.
This is the year of the truth, and we're almost at halftime. It's about to be June.
And people
It's
are being
about to be
exposed.
June. So this is the first half of the truth. So more is around the corner. More is around the corner, and we don't know who else truths might be revealed because we're focused on this one person right now, but there might be some other things that are unraveling and might hit the surface here in a minute. So it's a good time, whatever you believe, to go ahead and repent, apologize to people that need to be apologized to before. Like, don't wait until it comes out. Do your personal inventory. Remember, we talked about the apology tour. Go on your apology tour. Phone a friend, send a text message. If I've ever offended you, I just want to say I apologize. I'm working on my mouth. I'm working on, how I respond to situations. If, whatever that thing is, go ahead and go on this apology tour. Make that a real personal commitment, because everybody has a turn. Nobody's exempt. Everybody has a turn. We get humbled sometimes in life. And, most of us are out here just trying to do the right thing, trying to feed our family, trying to enjoy life. But every once in a while, we might have offended somebody along the way. And it's okay to be human and go back and apologize, or maybe that situation is in the past, but maybe you can encourage somebody else, or you can be in a conversation and watch or observe somebody else speaking out of turn or out of order. And maybe that's your moment to gently usher in and say, maybe you could have said that a different way, let's not attack each other personally. Let's stick to the facts. Let's stick, what is it that you're really upset about? What is it that you need in the moment from this person? We've got to find a way to resolve our conflicts without tearing people down. We have a way in our community of like tearing people down with our words, and it's part of our humor. It is, but it's part of tearing down the community. And we have to find ways to build us back up. If you got the last word, a day or two, a week or two, go back and build that person back up, because we don't always get to see the effects of how our words impact people. Like we lash out at people, we make fun of people, we mock people, but we don't get to see later how that person is crying, how that person now lacks confidence, how that person doesn't want to go anywhere, how that person, doesn't know how to be a friend because they don't trust, because they've told a secret and that person let them down and spilled their secret. And so we just have to be mindful, like when we know better, let's go ahead and do better. We've all messed up. We've told people secrets by accident. We've, thrown something in the past in somebody's face that, they've worked on or wasn't their fault, or, teased them. We've done it. And that's our human side. But our growth side is going forward, being mindful of what comes out, making sure we say something positive, making sure we deposit some courage, some self-esteem, some motivation, some prayer, a positive word, making sure that we leave the situation on a positive note, even if we've huddled around and had some gossip, because we do it. But before we leave the circle, man, we just need to go ahead and pray for old girl, because she's going through it right now, or whatever the situation is. So I think that's our challenge to ourselves. We're going to chop it up. We're going to laugh it up. But, what's our legacy going to be? Are we going to leave a situation better than what we left it? Or are we going to be the person that is constantly tearing people down and never mending anything? It's like a rug or a piece of garment. Like it just constantly gets holes. But do we ever patch them back up, and make it something that can be reutilized?
And I'm going to piggyback on that. That is so true. Of course, you remember, as MG said, he said accountability. Yes. So you remember my apology tour. And the first thing was reaching out to 3 of my siblings for my birthday. And this past Friday, 2 of them came to visit my mom. And we were all in the same space having conversation, and it was good. It was cordial. There was no malice. There was no, rolling of eyes and this one not talking. We were cordial to one another. And it felt good to say, you know what? Even though sometimes you get mad, we're always having to be the one to take the bigger step or be the bigger person. But it was good. And when they left, and the next day I said to my mom, I said, you were happy that your three of your children were in the same room together. She was like, yes, I wish it was all the time. Now, baby steps, Mom, baby steps. Baby steps. But we did it, and I just said it happened because of me taking the higher road, and don't regret it, because if anyone is holding on to anything, they're the ones who are holding on to it, not me, because it has gone with the wind. It's what would I say? It's a work in progress. I remember someone recently, an ex, said to me, you didn't fight for the relationship. So my response was, have you seen a person physically or any other way fight by themselves? And when I said that, of course they got, oh, you just don't understand. You always gotta go left. Nope, I go right. The right way. Not left, right. How do one person fight for something? 9 times out of 10, usually it happens. That's why you end up going your separate ways, because it's only one that is fighting for it. The other one is not. So, on to that story, it has to be, all parties has to be willing to do the work for whatever you would like the end goal to be.
And I think that, we've talked about this before, and I like how you responded to that statement, because people always want to put the blame back on the woman. Well, if you had just hung in there a little bit longer, if you had just fought a little harder, but we don't get to fight by ourselves. We communicate, we ask for what we need, we give you an opportunity to fix it. We demonstrate we lead by example, and we show you what it means to communicate effectively. We show you what it means to be where you said you were going to be. We show you what it means to let your words and your actions match. We show you what it means to be trustful and to be accountable. But if there's no reciprocation, then things are going to separate, because we can't be in a relationship by ourselves. A partner is only a partner if we're working together. Otherwise, I'm a single person hanging out with somebody that's not reciprocating. And at this stage in our lives, most women, that's not what we desire. We desire to be in a situation where we feel valued, we feel appreciated, we feel heard, that we're working on some common goals, that we can sit down at the table, and both acknowledge and apologize and create a path to go forward, where we can kind of close some of the doors in the past and open doors in the future. Otherwise, we're just hanging out, wasting each other's time. And who wants to do that on purpose, And it's okay if that's not what you wanted, but be honest and just say, you're right, I didn't do the work that was required to maintain the relationship. Because if I had, we'd still be together, But I don't know, I was on one of the social media platforms the other day, and there was a young woman who was frustrated with her current dating situation. And people were in her comments saying, focus on yourself, value yourself. You can only control so much, because she was a person that was like trying to chase after somebody, and shared a story about her getting in the car. And we've done this in our youth, you get in the car, well, this is before technology. Like technology now, people post where they are. If you have a certain type of phone, you can find the friend and know where they are at all times. In my generation, we would be like, you want to drive by so and so at the park to see if they're at the park, or you want to drive by so and so. And I remember being in the car with my friends. She was like, "Will you ride with me?" Okay, ride it out. Let's go. So we drove by the house and we saw the car. And I'm like, okay, the car is there. What do you want to do? She was like, let's just keep going. I don't want to make a scene. I was like, okay. I was like, okay. But sometimes you just need the confirmation. You don't want to do any action, but you want the confirmation.
Oh, those drive-through. Oh, back in the 90s. I had some friends that did some drive-throughs. I mean, sometimes those folks came out, their cars was on bricks. I'm just saying, windows done busted out. Those drive-through be lit. But now, because they got Ring doorbells and cameras everywhere. So if you do not want to be accused, or be arrested for something, it's like, dang, I can't do a drive. You could just do a drive-by. Look, now the drive-bys now, you just gotta call one of your home girl or home boy that person don't even know the car. So you could do that drive-by so they don't even know that car. I mean, I'm just saying because, of course, all these cameras everywhere, whatever. So, but it's to a fact that, we don't need to do that anymore. We don't need to do that anymore. It's just one of these things where we just have to take accountability, be prepared for what it is. And sometimes everything is not for everyone.
And only we get to make that decision. You look at people's relationships and you wonder how they made it because they chose to. Some people choose to stay in situations that from the outside looking in aren't healthy, but that's their choice. And then some people decide that I can't live in a toxic, unhealthy situation. So we have to respect people's decisions, and we have to make decisions for ourselves that make sense for ourselves. We have to stay prayed up and be okay with the decisions that we make, and like you said, Tonia, everything is not for everybody. I had a childhood friend who stayed in a relationship with 2 outside babies. Every woman wouldn't have been able to do that. That wouldn't work for me, but that wasn't my situation. I just said, how can I support you? What do you need? And I let her cry, and she cried, and she whined, and she wallowed, and I'm like, you hungry now? You want to go eat? What do you need a hug? Like, it's 11 o'clock now. What we finna do? We done cried now, and so, it kind of goes back to what we talked about earlier, this reset button. We need a moral reset button because where we're headed is more and more divided about people just not treating each other properly. In kindergarten, they say everything you needed to learn, you learned in kindergarten. Please and thank you. Your manners, wait your turn, don't overtalk somebody, share, give, share your lunch. These are little things that somewhere along the way we became so focused on our needs and what we want and all this gratification and all this instant gratification that we forget that we're stronger when we're united. It's really, to me, it's greater than just the relationships, it's the community. Like, if all these relationships are failing and people aren't investing in each other, how is the community going to thrive? If I'm constantly trying to get over on you and you're constantly trying to get over on me, we're missing what we could be doing in this community. How am I going to support somebody's business when I can't support my spouse, my partner, my significant other? How am I going to support the school and the fundraiser, if I'm not available to be there as a parent to my child? Like, it's bigger than just the individual relationship. It's a reflection of where the community is going to go. And if we don't have people that can treat each other with respect, be honest, hold each other accountable, be a little less selfish, and a little more invested, then, our community is slowly going to just evaporate, and then when you look at the not even the next generation, not even necessarily the people that are in their late 20s, but these children that are in their single digits, like the 9, 10, and 11-year-olds, what are we teaching them about community and solidarity and about relationships and about how to be, as Barack Obama used to say, a good citizen? And that's really my gripe. Like, how can we pivot from where we are? And I think it's just individually, when we have an opportunity to uplift that person, we don't miss that opportunity. When you see that person and you see that they're out there and they have their flyer, just stop for 2 minutes and listen to their pitch. It might not be something you can use, but you might be like, you know what? I know somebody over here who, in that collaboration, I heard a video that said it's not rich people collaborate and that's how they stay wealthy. Poor people try to spend and sell, but rich people kind of collaborate so that they can pour into each other businesses and figure out a way. Okay, well, I'm selling this product. Okay, well, I do microchips. Well, I have a car. Okay, well, I'm going to buy your microchips so that every car that I manufacture is going to go in my car. We're pouring, billionaires are keeping the other billionaires rich, and we have to figure out a way to do that in our community.
Because in our community, we just want it all for ourselves. With me, anyone that knows me, I love to share. So MG says people too busy looking for red flags to actually get to know people. Not the red flags. I'll be looking at the orange ones. I'm just saying. MG, not the red flags. I mean,
I'm just watching to see if your words and your action match. I don't know what color flag that is, but if you said, 5:00 on Saturday and it's 7:45, I mean, I'm not even responding tomorrow when you call me and be like, "Hey, girl, good morning." No, but
that's the orange flag.
Yeah,
you didn't have the decency, the principle, the discipline to even send a text or even call to say, hey, something came up, I'm not able, can we postpone? Can we reschedule? So not showing up and no response. Technically, we're going to look at it like, oh, you ghost me? You catfishing me? So, yeah, that's a red flag. And I agree. I remember this young guy, a guy, not even young, but a guy recently exchanged numbers and texted me, WYD. Yeah, that's how it was on that text. I was very silent. So finally, like hours later, they like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Hey, why did you send me that text earlier? The person says, oh, that means what you're doing. I said, I know what it means. I'm an adult. Do not text me WID. Oh, I am so sorry. No, not even my nieces and nephews, 12 and 13, to text me WID. How did we get there?
How did we get there? That's really the question. And I work in a field where I talk to people a lot all day. So sometimes I don't feel like talking, but you have to talk to people in order to get to know them. You're not going to get to know me through good morning.
Oh, and when they put the beautiful on it, good morning, beautiful.
Good morning, beautiful. Or what about the good morning, queen?
Oh. Did you forget the song that Mary J. Blige wrote? Good morning, gorgeous. We do that already. We know this. I'm just saying.
But, I just think that gap of communication is getting wider and wider, where we really don't know how to talk to each other. Like we don't know how to do it anymore. We'll send a little text and then people get face to face and they don't know what to say. They don't know how to interact. And I was telling somebody the other day, we're going to have a whole generation of people who have gone to school virtually, because there's a lot of kids that are still going to school virtually, who are going to technical school and college virtually, and then leave virtual college and work in a virtual world and don't actually have to interact with people, but maybe once or twice a week. So we're creating people with a whole different set of social skills than people who grew up in the 80s and the 90s.
So Mckenna, so MG in the comments, he says, LOL, but he's referring to the no show, no call. So he said, y'all better stop hating on the Good Morning Beautiful chicks. MG, listen, you our brother on this show. I mean, I'm just saying. Now, since you opened up that can, we got what? I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to explain why we shouldn't hate on the Good Morning Beautiful. Okay, I think they're just co-signing that we are beautiful. Okay, but we know this. So you got 30 seconds in this comment to tell us why we need to stop hating on this Good Morning Beautiful, because I think a lot of us in the chats is feeling the same way.
Okay, so I'm going to add to it real quick it's not the Good Morning Beautiful text so much as there's never anything of substance after it. And I don't know if I told the story, and we might not have time, but we only have 2 minutes, so I'll tell it really quick. There was this gentleman that I knew, and I'm going to say for maybe 5 or 6 years. And every day he would text me, good morning, beautiful. We never spoke. We never had a conversation. We never met, but this was just every day for 6 years. Every single day. It was the most bizarre, meaningless. Maybe it meant something to him. Maybe I was his only imaginary friend, and he knew that every day that I would just respond with good morning, or good afternoon. And I never made it any better or worse. If it'll be good morning, I'd be like, okay, good morning. And then tomorrow will be good morning, good morning. I mean, like 6, 7 years. And then one day it just stopped, and, I never heard from that person again. So I wish them well, hope everything ended up well. But it's not the text. It's that nothing comes after it. There's no substance. There's no, not even how was your day, but can you ask me a different question,
Or how's your day going? How you doing? So
how you doing?
MG says folks took time to say something to you. You got a point there, MG. Okay, you did good on that. You did good. Folks took time to say something to you. That's true, because there are some people in relationships in the house with folks, and folks just walk past them and don't say good morning, nothing, or wait till the other person come out the other room to go in that room, maybe a kitchen or a bathroom. So I get it, MG. We're gonna do better. But okay, I mean, besides just saying good morning, beautiful, you can ask, how was your night? How did you sleep? What did you have for breakfast? I mean, we need some follow-up, in other words.
Yeah.
Okay?
Anything interesting happened today? How's your job coming along? What's for lunch? What you doing after work? What'd you watch on TV last night? Something.
I'm just saying.
Something.
Just saying. Something else besides just good morning. On that note, it's 8:00. We'll be back, though. You guys will see us. Who knows? We might come back earlier than anticipated. But guess what? Until we come back live after our little summer break, you guys be safe. Have a beautiful, wonderful summer. And most of all, congratulations to all the graduates. Condolences to anyone that has lost a family member or friend. And anyone that is celebrating any birthdays, upcoming birthday. And to Nakaya, I'll be chatting with her outside of Let's Gripe. But, again, congratulations. By the time we come back, that baby should be here. So, again, for everyone that is celebrating any birthdays, anniversaries, etc., happy birthday, congratulations. And most of all, enjoy your summer. Do something that's worthwhile. This is Tonia saying peace out. And I'm going to say peace out for MG. MG, go on and type that in the comments. But we'll be back, God's willing, and everyone take care. Mckenna.
Good night, everybody. Just piggybacking off of what Tonia said, have a good summer, stay safe, do something fun, relaxing, positive, pour into yourself. And we look forward to seeing you at the end of the summer. Take good care of yourselves, and we love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for your support, and good night.
Good night, and thank you. Good night. And the powerhouse.
DJ fourth quarter in your ear right now. If you're in your car, if you're at home, if you're on your phone, let's gripe, baby.
Driving home and you're feeling kinda tired. Radio play the same thing every day, so you need a little switch in your life. Traffic got you jammed up every night. Tune in to Powerhouse. Wednesday 7 to 9, you need to check them out. I promise I ain't trying to hype, but one good listen tonight, it might change your life. So what's the name of the show? You need something to just ride to on the go. Or you might be home so log on. You can even dial in on your phone. I promise that you're gonna love it. Just try it one time, it'll blow your mind. Now I'ma say it just one more time. Every Wednesday from 7 to 9.
You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean.
Let's gripe.